All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Baseball Podcast. And for the third part of the show, we are going to now recap the National League Championship Series between the Philadelphia Phillies and the Arizona Diamondbacks. So I had the Phillies winning this series in 6 games, and, it looked like that was going to happen. They were going back to Philadelphia up 3-2. And the Diamondbacks did something that really not a lot of people expected them to do, and that was win both games in Philadelphia and knock off the Phillies, who were trying to get back to the World Series and get it done this year. So we'll go back to Friday's game, and that was in Arizona. So the Phillies, going into the bottom of the 8th inning, they had a 5-3 lead. It was 5-2 going into the bottom of the 7th, and the Diamondbacks scored a run in the bottom of the 7th. But first we'll go back to how the scoring went in this game. So Emmanuel Rivera, he started off the game with a RBI single, so that put the Diamondbacks up 1-0. Then Gabriel Moreno, he hit a RBI single in the bottom of the 3rd to put the Diamondbacks up 2-0. Kyle Schwarber homered to make it 2-1. Brandon Marsh doubled, so that tied the game. Then top of the 6th, Alec Boehm singled in 2 runs, Trey Turner and Kyle Schwarber. So that put the Phillies up 4-2. And then in the top of the 7th, Trey Turner had a sacrifice fly. So that put the Phillies up 5-2, and you thought, okay, well, this game's pretty much over. Then in the bottom of the 7th, Christian Walker was walked. That walked in a run. And then in the bottom of the 8th, Diamondbacks put up 3 runs, and they ultimately won the game 6-5. Alec Thomas hit a 2-run home run to tie the game, and Gabriel Moreno had an RBI single that put the Diamondbacks ahead. And they ended up winning that game. And responsible for that is Craig Kimbrell. He pitched 2/3 of an inning, gave up 3 earned runs, 1 strikeout. The bullpen did its job for the most part up until that point. It was a bullpen game for the Phillies. But, yeah, the bullpen did not do its job. Kimbrell, was shaky. And because of that costed the Phillies that game. Diamondbacks pitching did a good job. Ginkel and Paul Sewald, he got the save in that game, and he's actually been money in these playoffs. He's 1-0, has a 0 ERA in 8 innings. He has 11 strikeouts, and he has a .5 WHIP. And then Ginkel in these playoffs, he's 1-0 and 0 ERA in 9 innings, 13 strikeouts, .89 WHIP. So, yeah. The back end of their bullpen is doing its job. They also had a bullpen game as well, the Diamondbacks. And, yeah, they ended up defeating the Phillies 6-5. So then we went into Saturday's game. Phillies won that game pretty handily. Zach Wheeler pitched really well. And Zach Gallen took the loss in that game. He went 6 innings, giving up 4 earned runs on 6 hits. And then as for Zach Wheeler, he went 7 innings, giving up 6 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. And the bullpen did its job. Hoffman, Dominguez, and Strahm, they did their job. Bryson Stott got the game started off with an RBI single. Bryce Harper stole home in this game. Bryson Stott stole second on the play as well. And he advanced to third on a throwing error. So it was 2-0. Then Kyle Schwarber homered. Bryce Harper homered to make it 4-0. Alec Thomas homered to make it 4-1. And then JT Realmuto, he homered a 2-run shot to make it 6-1. And that was it. Phillies won that game. They went up 3-2. Going into Monday, and you thought, yeah, Phillies are going to get it. They don't lose in Philly. This series is over, right? Nope. Diamondbacks took Game 6, winning 5-1. Merrill Kelly got the win, so he got his revenge from the other day in Game 2 when the Phillies dominated, winning 10-0. Aaron Nola took the loss, so, and he was pitching well in the postseason, but he did not pitch well in that game. Tommy Pham started off the top of the second with the solo home run to make it 1-0. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. made it 2-0 with the home run of his own. And then Evan Longoria had an RBI double to make it 3-0. So that was all in the top of the second. So in the bottom of the second, Brandon Marsh singled to make it 3-1. And so the Phillies got on the board. Top of the fifth, Kento Marte tripled to make it 4-1. Then he singled in the top of the seventh to make it 5-1. And that was it. That was it. So we look at what both pitchers did. So Aaron Nola went 4 1/3, 4 earned runs, 6 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, gave up 2 home runs. So yeah, he did not pitch well in this game. But the bullpen did its job. Kimbrel had a better performance. He had 2 strikeouts. He pitched an inning, didn't give up a run. But yeah, Phillies really just couldn't get anything going offensively, and they lost that game. So we went into Game 7. And I'm thinking, okay, the Phillies should win this game, right? Wrong. The Phillies lost 4-2, and the Diamondbacks advanced to their first World Series since 2001 when they won it against the Yankees. Diamondbacks scored first. Christian Walker had grounded into a force out that scored a run. Corbin Carroll scored. Alec Boehm in the bottom of the second, he homered to make it to tie the game. Bottom of the fourth, Bryson Stott doubled to make it 2-1 Phils. Corbin Carroll singled in the top of the fifth to tie the game. Gabriel Moreno, he singled to make it 3-2. And then Corbin Carroll in the top of the seventh had a sacrifice fly to put them up 4-2. And that was it. That was it. You had Brandon Pfaadt on the mound. He pitched 4 innings, 2 earned runs, 4 hits, 7 strikeouts. And Diamondbacks bullpen nailed it down. And then as for the Phillies, Suarez pitched 4 2/3, 3 runs, 6 hits, 6 strikeouts. The Phillies bullpen gave up a run. Zach Wheeler pitched this game. He pitched an inning and 2/3, a walk and a strikeout. And Strahm pitched 2/3 of an inning. He didn't give up any runs. Alvarado was the other pitcher that gave up a run. But yeah, the Diamondbacks, their pitching did its job. Got to give credit to the Diamondbacks with their pitching. Their pitching really held up in this series, and especially in Philadelphia in that hostile environment. I mean, in the final 2 games, they outscored the Phillies 9-3. And again, the guys at the back of the bullpen, Ginkel and Sewald, they did their job, and the Diamondbacks move on. I actually want to look at Gabriel Moreno in these playoffs. So he's got a 279 batting average, 3 home runs, 9 RBIs, 852 OPS. Lourdes Gurriel Jr., he's batting 250. He's got a 703 OPS. He got 2 home runs, 6 RBIs. Corbin Carroll, he actually had 3 hits in the Game 7. In these playoffs, he's batting 295, 2 homers, 6 RBIs, 851 OPS. But, that trade that the Blue Jays made to trade Moreno, to trade Gurriel Jr., I mean, how is that looking? Not really that good right now. Not that good. Because now you got those 2 guys playing in the World Series. And Corbin Carroll, he's been great too. Rookie of the Year favorite. He got that clutch home run by Alec Thomas, in Arizona. And Diamondbacks move on. They, I give them a lot of credit. I mean, they held down that great offense for the Phillies. I was surprised. Also, Evan Longoria, who, I don't think a lot of people realize he's on the Diamondbacks right now. He's going to be going back to the World Series himself for the first time since 2008, and I think that's when he was a rookie for the Rays. So he got his revenge against the Phillies all those years later. But the Diamondbacks are a team that I continue to disrespect. I didn't pick them to win this series. I just thought the Phillies were the much better team. And you had guys on the radio, on TV, saying they would retire if the Diamondbacks won the last 2 games in Philly. It's wild. I mean, this World Series, nobody expected it. I mean, the Diamondbacks, they won 84 games in the regular season, but they've surprised some people. I mean, I picked them to beat Milwaukee. I didn't think they were going to get past the Dodgers. I said they'd lose in, I think, 4 games. But they swept the Dodgers, and now they just beat the Phillies in 7 games. But again, there's been a lot of complaints now with the playoff format and how, the layoff and, we're not getting, too many teams are making it, not the best teams are playing in it right now. And even my friends were talking about it too. It's like it really makes you look at the regular season, and it's like, why even play that many games? You play 162 games. You're trying to get the division. You don't want to be playing in the wild card. But now you got 2 wild card teams in it. And you got a team that won 84 games, playing in the World Series. Now I give them a lot of credit. I don't want to, disrespect them like I have been, but it's kind of true though. Like, what is the point of, playing a 162 game season if you're going to have like half the league make the playoffs? So, I mean, look at my team. They didn't even make the playoffs. So what does that say about them? But, congratulations to the Diamondbacks. As for the Phillies, I mean, yeah, their big guys kind of, disappeared, when they needed them most. And, especially in that Game 7, like the Phillies were up 2-1, and I'm like, they got to cash in and get more runs here. But that never happened, and the Diamondbacks, they ended up taking it in 7. So I had the series going 6 games, but I thought the Phillies were going to move on. So now that leads us to an interesting matchup. You have the Arizona Diamondbacks taking on the Texas Rangers. And, like I said, it's a World Series that not a lot of people no one really predicted. I mean, maybe at the beginning of the playoffs, maybe there were people out there that did, but I mean, at the beginning of the season, did we really think that was going to happen? Probably not. But it should be an interesting World Series. It's not one that I think Fox is very, very happy about. In terms of like ratings, because I don't think many people. I mean, more people are going to be tuning in now that the NBA is back and football as well. But I mean, obviously, this is a series that I will pay close attention to, as well as hardcore baseball fans. But yeah, it's definitely not the matchup that I think many people wanted. I think most people would probably prefer a Astros Phillies rematch from last year. But you know what? It's different. You'd rather it be different than having the same teams in it every year. And this is different. I mean, these teams have not been in the World Series for a long time. Rangers are back for the first time since 2011. And the Diamondbacks are back for the first time since 2001 when I was an infant. So, yeah, it's been a really long time. So we'll see. It starts tonight, and we will preview it when we come back from our final break. So stick around, and we'll be right back to preview the World Series here on the GSMC Baseball Podcast.